Okay, 7.2 multiplying polynomials. So we've been discussing like what a polynomial is, how you combine like terms, and now we want to go ahead and multiply. And we touched a little bit on it today, which was that when you are multiplying polynomials, it's always good to go ahead and think about your exponent rules. X. So when you distribute this x squared, you're going to go ahead and add up your exponents because you have the same base, and that's going to give you x to the fifth plus x cubed, because that's x squared times x, plus x squared. And that's how we go ahead and we kind of distribute these. We use those exponent rules. I'm going to go ahead and kind of start that. Exponent. And then I'm also going to say, remember to combine like terms when you can. I can barely fit that in there. There we go, when you can. All right, I'm going to start this first one with numbers. So I'm going to start off with saying 4 plus 5 times 3 minus 1. And you would say, well, Ms. Lawrence, obviously we're going to do our inside the parentheses first. 4 plus 5, that's 9 times 3 minus 1, that's 2. That's 18. Easy peasy. But I'm now going to ask you to do it again, but I'm going to ask you to do it in a little bit of a different method. So 4 plus 5 times 3 minus 1, and you're going to think that I might be crazy for this one. Now what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm actually going to ask you to distribute your 4. So I'm going to distribute the 4, saying 4 times 3, that's 12, and then I'm going to distribute the 4 to the negative 1. 4 times negative 1, so that's minus 4. Okay, now you distributed once, we're going to have to go ahead, we're going to have to distribute the second one, positive 5. So 5 times 3, that's plus 15. And then 5 times negative 1, it's negative 5. And now that we distributed all of these terms, we can go ahead and simplify this. So we have 8 plus 15 minus 5. That gives us 23 minus 5. That also gives us the answer of 18. And I want us to notice how we did that is that we took, switch to pink here. We multiplied the first terms together. So the 4 times the 3. And then we did the outer terms together, the 4 times the negative 1. And then the inner terms, the 5 times the 3. And then the last terms, which are 5 times negative 1. And that actually comes up with the acronym FOIL. And I don't like to use FOIL a lot because it only works with a binomial times a binomial. However, it's a really good way to remember that you're multiplying every term by every term. So let's now try this with our polynomials. So example 1 here, I'm going to give you 2 binomials. I'm going to say x plus 2 times x minus 3. All right, so the first thing that we need to do looking over here is our first terms, meaning x times x. And x times x is going to get me x squared. All right, then I'm going to do my outer terms. I'm going to do x times negative 3. So it's negative 3x. Inner terms, 2 times x, positive 2x. and 2 times negative 3 is a negative 6. Now I need to remember to combine like terms when I can, and if you can see here, we have like terms of negative 3 and 2x. So this goes ahead and our final answer for this one is x squared minus x minus 6. So when you are multiplying two linear binomials, you get a quadratic trinomial. Now, I'm going to make a note here about our first, outer, inner, last. I'm also going to make a note that what it really comes down to is that you want to distribute every term in the first polynomial to every term in the other polynomial. And of course, you need to combine like terms. So just to recap on our first example, we multiplied, we had our x times x, and then our x times negative 3, 2 times x, and 2 times negative 3. So let's try one here. See if you possibly could do it on your own, and then press play to see if you got it correct. So our two binomials are going to be x minus 4 and 2x plus 3. So x times 2x is 2x squared. Please remember your exponent rules. And then x times 3 plus 3x, negative 4 times 2x minus 8x, negative 4 times 3 minus 12. Then, of course, combine your like terms here. So for this one, we have 2x squared, and then a 3x minus 8x minus 5x minus 12. And that's as simple as we can get for this one. So this also works with trinomials. So we're going to go ahead and do a binomial, so 2x minus 3 times a trinomial, x squared plus x minus 1. And obviously we're going to run out of terms if we choose FOIL. However, we can still take that same premise, which is that we're going to take our first term, so 2x, and multiply it by every term in our other polynomial. So 2x times x squared, that's 2x cubed, 2x cubed, 2x times x plus 2x squared, 2x times negative 1 minus 2x. And then we're going to take that other term, so for us it is a negative 3, and multiply it by everything in the other polynomial. So negative 3 times x squared, negative 3x squared, negative 3 times x, negative 3x, and negative 3 times negative 1, positive 3. Now the thing about this is that it becomes really long. So you have to go through and you have to combine all like terms. So we have a 2x to the third, and then I have a 2x squared and a negative 3x squared, so minus x squared. I have a negative 2x and a negative 3x, so that's going to get me negative 5x and then plus 3. Okay, so there's sometimes when it looks a little bit different, but it's actually the exact same methods before. So our last examples for today, we're going to say examples 4, is that we're going to say x plus 5 squared. Now be careful. Be careful here. This is because most people go ahead and they just use their exponent rules, and you can't use your exponent rules because this actually means x plus 5 times x plus 5. And when we have a binomial times a binomial, we get a trinomial. So for this one, we're going to go ahead, x times x squared, x times 5 plus 5x, oops, excuse me, I already did that one. 5 times x plus 5x, and 5 times 5 plus 25. Combine like terms. So when we have a linear binomial times a linear binomial, we always get a quadratic trinomial. We're going to try that one more time. Why don't you try this one on your own? X minus 3 squared. So x minus 3 squared means x minus 3 times x minus 3. And now we have x squared minus 3x minus 3x. Careful there, positive 9. Combine like terms to get minus 6x plus 9.